everybody, my name is Jessica and thank you so much for checking out my video today. I'm doing an update on my Pan Those Eyeshadows project and I've got some pretty exciting updates to share with you, and the most exciting part, of course, is we're going to roll in some new shades this month. So very excited to roll in some new shades because I was getting a little worn out with the shades that I was working with. Today I went for like a super clean, simple, just liner and lip look because I was just worn out on eyeshadow and all the shades that I've been wearing all month. So just wanted to do a fresh start for a fresh new update. I'm feeling very like, I don't know, vintage. If you're interested in seeing my project updates, go ahead and stay tuned. We're gonna get right into it, and we're gonna start with the palette that has been in this project the longest so far. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Jackie Aina palette, and this palette has now been in my project for 3 months, and I had hit my usage goal last month. I think I had 35 uses, 33, and I hadn't hit pan. So I decided to go ahead and keep it in for a 3rd month per the rules that I've decided to do for my project. Check out what this shade looked like in the last few updates. And now after 7 more uses, so 40 uses total, we now have pan on it, and it's a little bitty pan. I did even use it a couple times after hitting pan to expand it just a little bit more, but there she is in all her glory. This was a great shadow to have for the month of February. It fit in great with pink, fun Valentine's-y looks, and I enjoyed it, so I'm glad I kept it in for 1 more month. And unfortunately, it is time to roll this palette out, which I'm kind of sad about. I really love this palette, and it's been really great to reach for it these past couple months. So hopefully I'll get to use it again soon and maybe pull it out for a special occasion when I want to give her a little visit. So we're going to roll her out, and we're going to put her lovingly in her place on my vanity so that she's ready when we are. And here's Supreme, the one we're rolling out. So this is my rollout hand. The next shade we're going to talk about was from my singles palette, my Z palette here, and I have it here in my hand. It was the last shade in the Z palette, a matte purple shade, and this is what it was looking like when we rolled it in. And this shade, I believe, came from a BH Cosmetics palette. Yes, we figured that out last month. It's from a BH Cosmetics matte palette. This shade was a bit of a roller coaster. It kind of brought me on a ride throughout my usage of it this month. I used it quite a bit. I used it to deepen up looks. I used it all over the lid. I used it as a liner. I used it as a wing. And I used it 11 times this month. After just a couple uses, it started to like crumble and almost like create this crater. And it just like was like cracking into like many pieces as I was using it. And I hit pan really quickly after like maybe 8 uses or less, like 6 uses. And that was just because it just like broke apart. It was like an earthquake, like this big rift in the center. So I repressed it and I just kept using it. I didn't really count that as hitting pan. And after just a couple more uses, I then hit pan again. Long story. So here's what she looks like. You know, I thought about throwing this shade away. It's just very powdery. They're not good quality. The pigment's not great. It was just like disintegrated. Even after I repressed it, it just started falling apart again. So I think I'm gonna actually toss this. I have other purples in my collection, better purples, and I just don't need this. So I'm gonna let it go. Wow. I actually didn't think I was gonna let it go, but now talking about it, I'm just like, why keep it, you know? So in total, I used it 11 times, and we're rolling it out, and we might even be decluttering it out of our collection. I might change my mind. I always do that. I like decide I'm gonna get rid of something, and then I think about it for a second, and then I don't get rid of it. And there it is swatched. You can see it's just like not the prettiest purple, and it has a weird texture. It doesn't blend very well. The powder is just falling apart. So yeah, again, I have other purples. I have better purples. So yeah. But, you know, at least I got some use out of it. I got to determine if I liked it or not. And now I know that I don't. And I don't have to hold on to it anymore. So all in all, it was a good learning lesson. And that's another reason why this project's fun, right? Okay, so that one's going in the garbage. I'm going to toss it right now. Let's see if I get it. I missed. Trying again. Jessica, come on. Never try underhand. Third time. The charm. We got it. Okay. All right. So that is that. The next shade we're going to talk about is from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and it was the 21st shade in the palette, Cran Apple, and it was that really pretty like burgundy shimmer. This was probably my most challenging shade to use this month. It's just not a color that I wear very often. I don't think it necessarily complements my coloring very well. Like, it's fine, I can make it work, but I just think it's not the most flattering color for me, or maybe it's just a color that I don't enjoy wearing that much. I mean, I got some use out of it. I used this shade 15 times this month, and I was getting pretty sick of it. I was really just like wanting to get through it, and I, you know, really pushed hard to use it every day, and that's, I think, why I got sick of it so fast. But I was determined to hit pan, and I did. So here's my pan there, and you can see it's so tiny. It's like the tiniest pan I've ever had yet, but I'm counting it because I'm fed up with this shade. It is a nice shade. Like I said, it's just not my kind of color. All right, so there it is right there, Cran Apple. I'm happy that I hit pan finally. I think I actually didn't even hit pan until like 2 days ago, and I specifically did my update just a few days late. Since January is a short month, and I'm like, I'm gonna get like 2 more uses out of that shade so that I can hit pan. I think I hit pan on like the 3rd of March, so, and today's the 5th. We're gonna roll out Jaclyn Hill. I would be happy to roll this one back in with a different shade. Yeah, it's a great palette. The next shade we're gonna talk about is from Colourpop, and it is the Elsa Frozen 2 palette. This is just such a sweet palette. I really enjoyed having it out this past month. It's a great winter palette, and I've actually been able to play with a few different shades in here while I've had this in my rotation. So the shade that I was working on was Cuddle Close, and it's a really beautiful iridescent shade. It's like white with a pink shift. It really is mostly pink. It's very like a sheer pink. And this is what it was looking like. And this one also, like, these pans are really deep. This is the first time I've tried to pan a Colourpop shadow, and even though this shade is quite powdery, I just felt I kept working at it and working at it and working at it, and I was just amazed that pan wasn't coming sooner than it was. So it did finally come, and I used this shade 22 times before I hit pan, which I think is a huge amount, especially for a shade like this where you're really targeting your brush. You know, I used it a lot as an inner corner or a brow highlight, or I layered it on top of Cran Apple, or I just sheared it out on the lid by itself. So, you know, so here it is. It's really pretty. So I really enjoyed having this. This shadow really benefited from a glitter glue because it's so flaky. The glitter glue really helped the shade to have more impact and more lasting power. We did hit pan. I guess I've just been so determined in my project pans. Like, I'm a serious panner, okay? Like, I'm taking this seriously. I'm not gonna slack off on my projects because it's just so, I don't know, like, why do it if you're not gonna, like, you know, really do it? That's my opinion. I kicked butt this month, and I hit pan on 4 shades, and I'm super proud of myself. All of these are getting rolled out. I hope you are as satisfied with my 4 pans as I am, and we get to roll out these 4. Goodbye February, am I right? The February palette is gone. Maybe we'll get some greens in the March palette. I don't know. But we do still have 1 shade left that is rolling over from last month, and that is from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and it is the shade Raw Sienna, and this is what she was looking like. This shade had definitely gotten a little bit of use before I rolled it in, but not a ton. This palette in general just doesn't have as much use as it should because I've had it in my collection for a long, long time. It's one of the oldest palettes I have. So here's what she looks like on the swatch. It's pretty dark neutral. Like, I use it to, you know, I put it in the crease almost every day. I have it in the crease today. And I also have Tempera on the lid, that like cream shade. And I'm kind of like unofficially panning Tempera is like hopefully a bonus because it's, you know, I pan on every other cream shade in every other Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This is what she's looking like now. So I used this shade 21 times, quite a few times. And she's got a good dip in there. I've actually been trying to go a little bit slow on this palette because I don't want to hit pan right away. I want to have this palette in for a little bit. I've also been getting some good use out of the 2 shimmer shades, and I've used the pink shades a few times too. So love having this in the rotation. It's going to be staying in. So yeah, these are all rolling out. Oh no, I swatched on the wrong hand. Jessica, get with it. There's Raw Sienna. She's going to stay in. It is quite a deep transition shade for my skin tone. I use it pretty lightly, so I'm actually surprised that it has as big of a dent as it does. So that one's staying in. I'm going to put her right back here in her little home. So I now have pan on 26 of my 401 eyeshadow pans, which brings my pan percentage up to 6.5%. Well, 6.48, but we'll call it 6.5. So that means I have 375 eligible shades to come into my project. So now is the most important part, the most exciting part, the part you've all been waiting for. We are going to roll in 4 new shades into my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. So I've put in the numbers 1 through 375 into the random number generator, and we are going to generate 4 new shades. Let's do it. 193. 5. I like that number. A little number. 240. 48. All right, I'm gonna go check out my spreadsheet and find out what these shades are, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our 4 new shades, and it's pretty interesting. I'm excited to share what I got with you. I'm gonna start with shade number 5, which actually comes from my Natasha Denona 5-pan palette. This is the old 5-pan palettes before they were super mini. This one here, these shades always break, but yeah, it's a great little purple palette. We're getting more purples in here. And I rolled in, of course, shade number 5, which is that purple shade there, which is a really pretty deep purple. I don't think these shadows have names. Oh, they do. They do have names. Oh my gosh, this shade is like falling apart. I have to repress it. So before I get started painting it, I'm going to repress it. This is the shade called Maroon, which is silly because it's not a maroon shade at all. It's purple. Here she is. Oh, wow. That's gorgeous. I'm excited to work on that. That'll be super fun to use. I'm really glad to have this in my project because I've had this for years and it has not gotten the love that it deserves. It was my first Natasha Denona palette. I got it in a lucky bag from Beautylicious, what's it called? Is it Beautylish. I got it in a lucky bag from Beautylish and I was so excited to receive it. So I'm going to fix it up a little bit, give it a little repressing, give it some love, and then it'll be really fun to work on that shade in the next couple months. It's so pretty. In keeping with the theme, shade number 48 was from my Ciate Glitter Storm palette. I just love purple shimmer. It's like the universe knew that's what I need. Let's just take a moment. Enjoy this. Okay, enough of that. Here's what the palette looks like. And the shade we rolled in was Interstellar, which is this shade down here, the bottom middle. So another mauve-y color. Let's swatch that for you. Ooh, interesting. That's nice. It's like, you know, muted. It's a very easy everyday shade. And it will pair well with the purple if I want to blend them together. So great. I'm also very happy to have this one in. This palette has hardly been used at all. It could definitely use some love. And my sister gave me this palette, so it makes me think of her, and it's just so fun. I get to look at this every day. Hooray. I'm super happy. Shade number 193 was from an old friend, a familiar friend, a friend that is now making their appearance in this project for the 3rd time, and that is the ShanXO, the Remix palette. Welcome. Welcome back, Shan. She just loves hanging out. So I rolled in shade number 7 from this palette, and this is another broken shade that's been repressed, but I love this shade. It's called Toasted. Right there. These have really shallow pans. I'll probably be able to pan this in at least probably within the month. And so let me just swatch that for you. Ooh. Wow. That is beautiful. Look at all those shades together. This is gorgeous. I'm super stoked. I'm gonna have so much fun with this. This is like what I love to wear already, so. Yeah, beautiful shade Toasted. Well done, Shan. And the last shade that I rolled in was shade number 240, and it also is from a returning palette that we've seen before, but it has been a few months, and that is the Urban Decay Vice 4 palette. And again, this is a really old palette in my collection, so it's good. It's good that I'm bringing it back in. It's getting more use. And the shade I rolled in was the shade here, Fireball. It's like that pink shimmer, which we've seen a lot of pink shimmers in this project. I guess I just have a lot of pink shimmers in my collection. So here's another one. It's coming in, and you know what? At least it matches with the rest of the party. This is actually one of the better used shades that I have in this palette. Like, I used that one quite a few times, and this one too. So maybe that'll give us a little bit of a head start. And there she is. All right, so there's my palette for the month of March. Not a green in sight, but you know what? That's okay. This is very springy. I'm excited for these green hills that are coming out, and the wildflowers that are blooming, and just these blue skies and longer days that are ahead. And I think this will bring me into that mood, and I'm gonna have fun with it. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful palette. Welcome to the party, friends. All right, so to run them all down, let's make sure I get this right. We have Interstellar from the Ciate London Glitterstorm palette. We have Maroon from the Natasha Denona 5-pan palette. This is Toasted from the BH Cosmetics Shanaxo the Remix palette. We have Raw Sienna from the ABH Modern Renaissance, and Fireball from the Urban Decay Vice 4. So we've reached the portion of the video where I'm going to show you some of the eyeshadow looks I did with my February palette. And I did quite a few looks and took a lot of pictures this month. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm only going to show you my favorites because I don't want to sit here and chat and ramble forever and ever. So this was one of the first looks I did. This was a really fun look. Well, I don't know how fun it is for you, but it's fun for me. I used Supreme in the crease. I used Cuddle Close in the inner part of the lid, and then I used that purple shade from BH Cosmetics as a wing. So it's another look that I did a lot. I think it was Supreme in the crease, Crayon Apple all over the lid, and then Cuddle Close in the inner corner to lighten it up a little bit. This is another ombre look, kind of similar to a look I did in the previous palette with the purple shade all over the lid, kind of ombreed up into the pink. And then I think I used Cuddle Close as an inner corner highlight. I like that look a lot. Oh my gosh, this was my favorite look of the month. It was a purple look that I did, and I really used that matte purple shade to deepen out. I just like used it all through the crease and buffed it all over the lid, and then I also buffed it out with the lavender shade from Sugar Pill, and I actually used some of the light purple shades from the Elsa palette, as well as glitter shades from the Ciate Glitterstorm palette. So maybe that's why Ciate Glitterstorm came to me, because I had so much fun with this look and I wanted to be a part of the party. I got so many compliments on this look. I actually wore this when I went to get my COVID vaccine, and I got complimented at every stop of the process. Like the people who checked me in, the people who looked at my ID, the people who gave me the shot, the people who watched me at the observation area. It was funny. Loved it, and I'm looking forward to more purple in my life. It's just a good color. This was my Valentine's look, and you know, I did my best. It wasn't the best Valentine's look, but I was just trying to be a little bit creative. You know, just put hearts all over my face. I definitely used the matte purple shade all over the lid, clearly, and I probably used some of the other shades too. I actually can't really remember. I'm just gonna keep scrolling. This was just a really simple, like, everyday look I did. I kind of sheared out Crayon Apple. Remember, I was trying to wear it every day, so it was hard to wear every day, so I was trying to find more wearable ways to use it, and this was probably the most wearable I found. Just kind of sheared out all over the lid with the Raw Sienna in the crease, and then just like a simple wing. This was a fun look I did for a palette bingo with the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, so if you're interested in seeing me do a palette bingo, you can check it out. I'll link it in the cards. And yeah, I used Crayon Apple in this look, and a bunch of other shades from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This is another one with just Crayon Apple all over the lid, and just, you know, and I think I layered it with Cuddle Close. Yeah, I did. I layered it with Cuddle Close. I have Raw Sienna all in the crease, and I really built up Cran Apple, and then I put Cuddle Close in the center of the lid, and I thought that was really pretty. Especially with a red lip and my pink hair. I was feeling it. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's interesting. I mean, these guys are just kind of getting repetitive. I don't need to show you every single look, do I? Yeah, this is another typical look. Cran Apple on outer lid, Cuddle Close on inner lid, the purple shade as a liner. This was the last look with this palette I did. I did a really heavy wing with that purple shade. Actually, this is this is a burgundy shade from the Elsa Frozen 2 palette as a wing, and I used the Cran Apple and Cuddle Close layered with Raw Sienna. So just playing with that Frozen 2 palette. I really enjoyed that palette, actually. I think it is better than people say. It just has a lot of unique shades in it, I think. And yeah, it was fun. So I think that's enough. I'm super duper excited to work with these shades this next month and see what I can come up with. It's gonna be pretty, you know, nothing too crazy. We'll see what I can do. But I'm excited to share it all with you next time. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun making it for you and, you know, sharing this project with you. If you're doing a project, let me know. I'd love to check it out. I hope this video brightened up your day a little bit. I hope you enjoyed seeing all those beautiful pans and seeing what I got to roll in. And if you have a moment, leave a comment, like this video. Let me know how your day's doing. Let me know how your project's doing. What did you think of my eyeshadow looks? I don't know, anything, just to say hi. If you want to see more of my Pan Those Eyeshadows updates, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on anything. I'm doing this project as well as a project pan, so you can follow along with both. And let me know what else you'd be interested in seeing from me. I hope you all are well, taking care of yourselves, getting outside, and reaching out to the ones you love. Oh, I don't know what to say. Why are outros so hard? Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.